Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is 8:30. That means it is time for a little tea and wild thoughts with your girl, beauty influencer. Good morning, my love. We are going to get right on into this conversation about this business owner who cussed out these patrons. There is a lot to unpack there. But of course, I'm going to do a little housekeeping first. Good morning. Hope that you are blessed and well. Hope that everybody's blessed and well. You may be watching this a little bit later. I'm going to do the housekeeping. Watching this a little later on YouTube. So please like, share, subscribe, comments. I welcome all of that. You're always welcome to join the live conversation here, 8:30 on Tuesday mornings on YouTube. Sorry, something popped up on my screen. You can also check out the self-care store. That's my Etsy shop. And there's a link there in my bio and in the information section in the bottom. If you're watching on YouTube, you can get things like Palo Santo, my body butters, good morning, scrubs, good morning, y'all. We're gonna get into this conversation about this black business owner. Just doing the housekeeping really quickly. I also have these lovely pink Himalayan salt lamps. I'm going to ship this one out today. There's some other pink salt products. Oh, it's a little heavy. Some other pink salt products that are on the site as well. So, we're amping it up. I cannot wait for next year and all the things that I want to put on the store. I really focus on that. So good morning. So yes, you can also check me out at Essential Aesthetics and Laser in Charlotte, where I do beauty treatments, holistic beauty treatments, gua sha, facials. I also do professional makeup. And you can sign up for my email list to stay updated on everything that I have going on. And yeah, so that's the housekeeping. Drinking red raspberry leaf. It's moon time for the ladies. Get you some red raspberry in your life, okay? It's good for the cycle. So anyway, I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving and you celebrated in some type of way that gave you some level of gratitude. Mine was nice. I did lose an uncle of mine. Rest in peace to my Uncle Armwood. So yeah, our family experienced some loss. Good morning, love, over the holiday. So that was very unfortunate. But the family's doing okay. All right. So let's jump on into the conversation about this business owner. So you may have seen that I posted. I'm sure you've seen it online. Good morning, welcome. This black business owner who went completely off for these young ladies who were twerking at his establishment. I got some interesting feedback yesterday. We're gonna dive on into this. Of course, my opinion is gonna be a little different, and I want to share why. Our lost heaven's gain. Amen. Yes. He is no longer in pain. Yeah. So, and I just want to say that, again, I do these conversations. I call it wild thoughts because I continuously encourage free thinking. I don't believe that people have to agree with me. This is not about arguing, anything like that. But I want us to make sure that we are thinking independently, whatever thoughts we come to. And it's very easy on social media for people to start sharing the comments. Recap, because you don't know the tea, we are talking about this black business owner who went off on his patrons who were twerking inside his establishment. And I posted the video on my page. You can check that out later, of course, if you didn't see it. But it was getting a lot of attention yesterday. And so I was just saying that, I want us to be really careful again, because we can start seeing comment after comment after comment of people saying the same thing. And before you know it, like, you're just saying what they're saying because that's what everybody's saying, and it's not even really an original thought anymore. I personally did not. I agreed on some level with the things that he was saying. He basically went off and was just saying, like, I tried to build something for Black people to come and, have something nice. And this is not a place, to be twerking and all that. However, from my understanding, again, and that's why we're just kind of having discussion about it. From my understanding, he had a DJ there that was playing Throw That Ass in a Circle. He was also serving frozen alcoholic drinks. And the rant was about, him just trying to create something really nice for Black people to come to and enjoy, and how he had saved all this money. Good morning. He had saved all this money to create something for Black people, and, basically they were coming in and making it super ghetto. Now, I myself have been an entrepreneur since 2009. Again, and most people in the comments, in my comments, in the comments that I read where I saw it posted, they kept saying, like, I agree with him. I agree with how he feels. I on some level agree with it. However, I don't agree with his approach at all. And I think that his delivery was a complete contradiction to exactly what he was talking about, which was, trying to uplift Black people as a whole. Group mentality. Yeah. So let me just look at my notes here. It's my personal opinion that this situation has a few too many layers to look into to just label it right or wrong. I don't agree with the owner's behavior, and I think his rant sacrificed the very purpose that he mentioned. So let's break it down to a few different parts. The first one I want to get into is my. Okay. I'm not sure what that is in reference to, but hopefully, we got to do better, Black folks, as a whole. I'm going to say a lot of what he mentioned, I have had these inner thoughts in my mind for quite some time. Those are the conversations that I get into and talk with my friends about from time to time. Again, being a business owner from 2009, I have never, nor do I think it is ever an excuse to go off as a whole on your patrons or the people who are patronizing your business. Regardless of them being ghetto, regardless, like, they are taking their money and they are supporting your business. It starts to reflect at some point on you as a business owner for not refining your client base. And if you can't, yes, we go to places where they play hip-hop music and there is a time and a place for things, I understand. He also posted something saying that he has spoken to these people 2 or 3 times and they still proceeded to twerk. Okay. I personally, and y'all feel free to chime in, but I personally think, again, even with those private discussions, there was a multitude of ways that he could have gone about diffusing that situation without interrupting the experience that everybody in the restaurant was having as a whole, and now just leaving everybody with this very salty view of how to handle things. Being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, sorry, I thought I smelled something burning. It's my incense. But being an entrepreneur and owning your own business, for the 9-to-5ers out there, like, it's never an excuse to just go off on people. That's not what entrepreneurship is about. I've had many, many experiences in my years of people who, or things that I've experienced, and I had to say to myself, I ain't never doing that shit again. Ooh, it was a bad day. That was a bad client. This was terrible. And I have to refine from there. It seems like it was a buildup, of many things, many experiences. And again, there just was better ways to... He could have taken that plates away and said, you know what, guys, I'm going to have to shut it down. Or told the DJ to play a different style of music. Or it just... I don't think that's okay. There's still customer service. No matter what businesses we go to, black, white, don't matter. Whatever businesses we go to, in regards of our behavior, we don't have to, and they don't have to come down to our level. It's very rare that you see these people like cursing people out. Of course, there's always exceptions to the rule. We can think of things that we've seen that have gone viral. But again, for our community, what we're trying to build, what we're trying to heal, I just didn't think that was a good reflection. Another point I want to make is that I am an advocate for black women. And I have taken on that advocacy in knowing that we come in so many different layers, so many different forms, so many different class levels, so many different education levels. I ride for them as a whole. I don't think this man would have gone off. It ain't just about black people. He specifically chose a demographic. If this was a group of black men who were acting unruly, I don't think he would have cussed them out publicly like that. I don't think so. I don't think it would have gone down quite the same. I think that he would have made a little bit more of an effort to approach them with something else, a little restraint. We'll put it that way, a little bit more restraint. Yeah, I kind of took it like this is a little patriarchal for me. I'm sensing a little taking it out on black women. Good morning. And I'm not cool with that. Because again, if this had been a bunch of thugs, like getting loud and getting unruly, I just don't think it would have been a public display. For those who, good morning. For those who are just joining, we're talking about this black business owner who cursed out his patrons for twerking. And I was just saying how, again, he was playing, throw that ass in a circle. He was serving these alcoholic drinks. Again, I'm not saying that we should be in places twerking, but what I am saying that as black business owners, regardless of us wanting certain types of clientele and the process of at times refining that, is never an excuse to go off on people. It just reflects badly in character and self, period. Like, it just shows me that somewhere in his background, in his life, getting angry, cussing people out is okay. And I see way too many of us jumping on that bandwagon. It always disappoints me when I see that. It always disappoints me. And I think that, again, yes, there are many times where we don't like that reflection of looking ghetto. And not to get super deep, but there's something in that self-reflection, that we don't like. Again, if we're talking about twerking, period, some people go off on Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion got the #1 song right now. Megan Thee Stallion, I'm just, in terms of a representation of a twerker right now and who is using that for her power, during Thanksgiving, there were tons of videos. I don't even really like the song. I'm not saying, I'm just talking about business, making money, like doing your thing. There were plenty of white people, and I'm talking normal, just laid back, regular People had their grandma, you know. Everybody was twerking. Everybody was body yaddy yaddy. You know what I'm saying? And so the issue is not the twerking, because clearly that's not the thing that makes it something that is classy or not classy, you know. Because clearly she's making tons of money and doing her thing, you know, twerking. You know, Megan Thee Stallion has the time and the place for it. It wasn't in this man's restaurant, but once again, you know, I think that we need to break this down into some different layers. And there is a level of power in that level of femininity. I still will ride for that. I will ride for the fact that, you know, again, I support black women who twerk. You know, I support black women who have degrees. I support black women who, you know, become the vice president of the United States. I support all of them. And so again, it's never an excuse to me to go off on them in a way that embarrasses them. I think that we can lead in a different way. I think that we can be constructively critical in a different way. And as a whole and as a unit between black men and black women, period, we need the unity. And so it never looks good on our demographic for us to turn on ourselves. I don't ever think that's cool. Welcome. Good morning, guys. We're talking about the black business owner who went off on his patrons for twerking. I don't agree with that. And again, even when it's your establishment, even you have more of a responsibility. Again, I have been a business owner myself since 2009. I have done it. I have had plenty of experiences, again, where like I experienced something. And let me back up really quickly and say this, because I did a conversation very early on. Let me read this comment really quickly. It was unprofessional of him. It felt like he had some underlying aggression towards black women. You know, I felt a little twinge. You know, and I ain't gonna lie, regardless, I've been in places where I saw things that I wasn't cool with. And then, you know, people have brought up things like, well, if it was the Cheesecake Factory, where no shade, because I like Cheesecake Factory. But that's not the epitome or the upper echelon of fine dining, you know, like, but when you go to these nicer places, and trust me, I've been to some really, really nice places too, places where you have to have membership just to go there. He also needs to question his music choices. At some point, you got to take accountability. Even when people are acting unruly or they don't belong there, what you don't see is them, again, interrupting the experience of everyone in the establishment to curse people out individually. They will quietly find a way to remove the situation so that everybody else can continue their experience. And so I just want to point out that it is equally classless as the entrepreneur to do something like that. You know, we want to start pointing the finger again at these black women who are twerking. But again, if I run a bar and I provide a lot of alcohol, I don't really get to. I have to put boundaries there to help steer the way I want that experience to go. I can't get upset when people get drunk and unruly. You know, like, I run a bar. And so if that is the case, again, there are plenty of bars where there's a dress code. You have to make reservations. You have to have, and it may mean that you give up a little money and that you give up a little clout and the amount of people that have access to your establishment. If that's what you really want, again, it's not for you to be cussing out everybody who decides to come there. It's for you to decide, refine, and say, You know, this is not the type of energy that I want here. So let me change a few things. Let me establish some other boundaries that need to be here. You can't want to be popular on Instagram. Right. He serves drinks in Patron bottles. Hey, and I think, again, we're in a time where a lot of people want to be popping. A lot of people want to be popping on Instagram. A lot of people want to be popping in all these ways. And you, again, if you've made this big investment, as he said, then you need people in the door. I get it. But you can't dog out the type of people who show up to spend their money. You got to decide what you want. You got to decide what you want. And that was just a mess. Again, I don't ever think it looks good. I get so tired when we join the lynch mob. Yes, the young ladies did not, it's not the time, boo. It's not the time. But I guarantee you, if they were playing, let's just say he's playing Throw That Ass in a Circle, right? He's playing that song, and the girls get up. If he would have turned to some Luther right then and there, do you think the girls would still be twerking? It's other ways. And again, it still looks bad when you are interrupting the whole dining experience for everybody else to hear that. I can't stand the fake bougie stuff. I don't like fake bougie. Because I'm bougie in real life. Good morning. I am bougie in real life. No shade. I mean, I love bougie stuff. I love going to bougie places. And I have never, nor will I. You don't hear people yelling and cursing people out. Get the fuck out of my restaurant is what he said. It's never an excuse as an entrepreneur. That is an abuse of power. That is an abuse of power. It's not empowering our people. So, there's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, but disrespecting the people who are not it only reflects bad on the owner. So, my bigger issue, again, is the association that we seem to put with ownership and abuse of power. It's your business, but people patronize it. Let's read this comment. If they were playing Tear the Club Up, would it be okay to break dishes and flip tables over? No. But again, I think if it had been a bunch of men flipping tables over, he wouldn't have gone on a rant. It would have been a different way of approaching it. So I was saying that there is a little bit of patriarchy. There's a hint, an aroma of patriarchy there in attacking black women. I personally, and I know he was just upset, just angry. However, I am an advocate for black women, and that's all black women. That's all of us, from the degrees to the sex workers, we, in terms of especially in America, but worldwide, we are on the bottom. We are on the bottom. And, we have so many things against us. We have not only our skin color and our race in terms of being oppressed, but we also have the fact of gender and being women that oppresses us as well. And we've come a long way, but we get in. And then again, that's my thing. Like, don't be black and then be female and then be poor. And so that is my thing of why I don't like seeing us as a whole starting to attack and say, they so ghetto. Let's be 100. I personally am not from the ghetto, but I have tons of friends and lots of people, good morning, who I know who have relatives who are ghetto. And it's okay. We are not less than. I just had the conversation last week about being worthy. We come out of the womb worthy, but we don't get to control our circumstances that we grow up in that much. You know, even if we have privilege and we have had the privilege of not having to worry about the lights being on or where the next meal comes from, it doesn't give us any right to look down on the people who are around us, especially when those people take their hard-earned money and support our businesses. So again, it just could have been a better way of empowering our community. If you were really providing something for Black people to come and enjoy, telling anybody to get the fuck out publicly is not the way. This is not the way. That's what my Star Wars people. But yeah, no. I personally don't agree with it. And again, I think that too many of us as Black people, and this is a trigger warning. Trigger warning that also has an aroma of the Donald Trump stuff, because this is where we start talking about class. We're not talking about race anymore. We're talking about class. And I'm talking about lower class, middle class, working class to lower class, middle class, and upper class people. And it's unfortunate that so many people have the association that power means that you have to abuse it and talk down to people. It doesn't mean that. You know, the reason that so many people have supported Donald Trump, again, is because he seems to represent the upper class looks like that it looks like the ability to talk down to people. And just because you got money, again, it don't mean you have peace. It doesn't mean you have a whole lot of things. And so just because you worked hard to have this establishment and you have this business, and I don't give you no right to cuss people out. I don't care what they doing. It reflects badly on you. It does. And again, when it comes to these country clubs and these places that require certain class level, you know, that certain class levels attend, you don't have loud and boisterous things on either side. On either side, there people are quietly removed, okay, swiftly. You know, like, it doesn't happen like that. That's not the way it goes. And so I don't think it's cool that a lot of people are associated or saying, you know, well, it's his business and he should be able to do what he wants. It don't work like that. Again, I've run a business myself for a long time. Even when I experience things that I'm like, I don't care for that, it's not an excuse to go off on that person for being themselves. I, at some point, need to revise my client base, how I'm marketing my business, how I'm marketing the things that I'm offering, and who that's attracting. I have accountability there. So I can't, if I sell, you know, $5 lashes, I can't be mad when $5 lash chicks come around. You know, like, that's why I don't charge that. I don't charge that. I charge a rate, and you can contact me personally for it. But I charge a rate that weeds out a lot. That's just me. So maybe he hasn't been in business that long. I will, you know, gift that to him, that you need to work on your client base. You need to revise. It's a constant learning process in entrepreneurship. And you don't get to cuss out people who are patronizing your business. It's just not a part of it, bruh. That just means, again, somebody cussed you out at some point. You think that's okay. It ain't. A lot of us seem to think that cussing people out is okay. It's not. You got cussed out. It wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. It's never okay. We can constructively criticize in peaceful manners. That's what we need more of, Black folks. Okay? Okay. So, I'm going to share the wild thought of the day. Make sure the folks you gamble with have as much to lose as you do. It's the difference between playing the game and getting played. I have shared this one before in the past. Good morning. again, maybe bruh just gambling with folks that got a whole lot less to lose than he do. That's the problem, bruh. That's the problem. You gambling with the wrong people, and now you losing. That's all. That's it. We all need to do that, and that is a class thing too. You know, I myself have had to understand that I just didn't come from a certain background. It doesn't mean that I look down on other people. However, we were not playing with the same hands. We were not playing with the same hand. Good morning. And it's okay. It's okay to understand that and to change the people that I play the game with, if absolutely necessary. So that is it, guys. I welcome your comments, your DMs. Please, again, if you're watching this on YouTube at this later date and time, please subscribe, please comment, please like, please share. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, then you can definitely do that, and you can check it out at the link that is in my bio. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe for my mailing list. I hope that you all have an amazing Tuesday. Yeah, it's December 1st. We got one more month in 2020, y'all. So let's make it a good one. All right, I will see you next Tuesday, God willing. Peace.